Hello and welcome to the third and final part of the Q&A. And in this part it's mainly to do with gaming and Battlefield in particular. Now we're on to the questions regarding Battlefield itself. And the first one is from Joe Wood. What has been your favourite game in the Battlefield playlist? It's simple. Battlefield Bad Company 2. That is by far the best Battlefield game. And reasons? Well, it was more infantry based than later Battlefields. It was simpler and it had better map design. One of the problems with putting so many vehicles on the maps is that the map design becomes harder to do. Battlefield Bad Company 2 had great maps, and when Vietnam came out the maps completely changed, and so it was almost, well, it was two separate games. Battlefield Bad Company 2 and Vietnam, and they were both really good. The Bad Company games seem more focused. In terms of gameplay, I think the infantry combat is much better balanced in Battlefield Bad Company 2 than it is in Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4, and the reason why is simple. It's the assault class. The assault class should not have the med bags and the defibs. Why would you give the class with the best guns the ability to chain revive each other? So in infantry based maps, assault is overpowered. In Battlefield Bad Company 2, the medics were the support class. So the assault class could run in with the good guns, but they relied on the support class to keep them up. The recons were there for spotting and for the gadgets, and the engineers were there to deal with vehicles. The roles were defined, they were simple, that was what you got. And the assault class revive train, which is 5 assaults in a group, running along, 1 dies, 2 die, the others can just pick them up. Even if 4 of them die, the last guy can just stand there with the defibs going boom, 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 and the whole squad is backed up. Doesn't make any sense to me, and it never has since it came in Battlefield 3. Bad Company 2 had the best maps and the best loadouts for infantry combat, and that has been missing a bit in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 so far. Maybe it's going to get better with this new DLC because that seems to be infantry based, but the assault class, support class mix I think needs swapping back. Just my opinion. I know a lot of people would disagree, and I think most of them would be assault players. Now if we expand that out to what are my favourite shooters rather than Battlefield games, then Battlefield Bad Company 2 comes in at number 3, and that's the highest that any of the Battlefield games come on my list of top shooters, because controversially for a Battlefield channel, the top 2 are both Call of Duty games. Yep, I said it, I said the dreaded COD word. So Call of Duty 5 World at War would come in at number 2. That was a very good game. The graphics were great for the time, and it was a World War II shooter which was really good, and it was just nice and simple and to the point. You got a gun, you went out and you shot people. That was it. Number 1 is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. That was the first of the modern Call of Duties, and it's by far the best Call of Duty they made, and it's by far the best shooter. Multiplayer shooters have got to the stage where they are far too complicated. So on COD 4 the map design was better because it was infantry. You didn't have the long stream of kill streaks leading to kill streaks leading to kill streaks, and it tended to be just one team with guns and grenades and maybe rocket launchers against another team with guns, grenades and rocket launchers. It was fun and it was a fair fight. At no point in Call of Duty 4 did you ever run around a corner and find yourself against a tank. And it's a problem I've got with the latest Battlefields. Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 are trying to do too much on the same map. So you can have a map with jets, helicopters, tanks, APCs, anti-aircraft vehicles, jeeps, dirt bikes, hovercrafts, the attack boats, all on the same map. And Battlefield goes, yay, look at all this stuff we've just thrown at you. Now, go out with a gun and deal with it. Well, you can't. And then they throw in the bomber and the cruise missile and the bloody gunship. Jesus, whose bright idea was that on naval strike maps? And it just keeps getting piled on top of Battlefield. All this stuff, the UCAV, the SUAV, all these gadgets and gizmos and crap. I'm really hoping that things are going to change now that DICE Stockholm isn't running Battlefield anymore. It's a controversial thing to say, but I think DICE have just lost their way with Battlefield, and they're obsessed with adding new stuff to it. Every release and every DLC has to have something new added to it, and more isn't better. BedandCZ says, do you hope they repair the netcode soon? Well, yes. Improve it, not repair it. I am not really one of those people that jumps up and down and shouts about the netcode. I have a lot of fun in Battlefield 4, and you can have fun in any game like Battlefield 4 if you just accept what's there. Should the netcode have been right from the start? Yes. Do I have fun in the game anyway? Yes. Now, on the CTE servers, they have improved the tick rate, but that has caused a lot of other problems because the game was designed around the tick rate it started with, 10. And if you suddenly go, here's a tick rate of 30, a lot of elements of the game then stop working. So at the moment, instant death is in, and weird death timings. So I was playing on a CTE server, somebody threw a grenade at me, the grenade went off, I got the full explosion, I then got the screen shake, then I died because the timings are all off. If you get into a gunfight, you can get shot with 5 rounds, you'll die on the first round and then see the other 5 hit you. The timings in the game are all hard coded to that tick rate, and when they changed it, they've now got to change a whole lot of other stuff to match the new tick rate. So yes, I hope they sort out the netcode, but it's not simply a matter of increasing a number from 10 to 30. There's a lot of work in it, judging by what's happening in CTE. So the next question comes in 2 different ways from CL Diablo and Zach. So Diablo says, would you ever play with your subs, and if not, why? And Zach says, would you ever consider doing a subscriber event where you play with us and mess around or work on assignments together? Well, the simple answer to that is probably not. Now, I play Battlefield 4 in 2 different ways. I play for fun with my friends, and these are people I know from other games or in real life, and I play Battlefield to make the videos. Now, you may have noticed that when I play Battlefield to make the videos, I deliberately don't play with anyone I know. I only play on public servers. So if I'm doing a video to unlock an assignment, and I simply get a bunch of mates in, shoot them with guns, show the ribbons and go, there you go, that's how you unlock it, that doesn't match what the point of the video is. If I go into a public server on my own and unlock an assignment, that shows everybody how to unlock that assignment, because it's the same experience that everybody else can have in the game. And when I play with my friends, it's not really about the game at all. We've done the same thing in WoW and EVE, Battlefield 3, PlanetSide 2 and a whole host of games where we play a multiplayer game, we're all on TeamSpeak, and half the time we're just stood around not doing anything because we're talking on TeamSpeak about something completely different and not game related. But the main reason that I wouldn't do sub events or play with subs is that I have no interest in being a YouTube personality. I have no interest in ever putting my face on these videos. I have no interest in going to events and becoming famous and having fans. I was just as happy making videos when I had 100 subscribers and people were just watching the Minecraft stuff. The Battlefield stuff is all very well, but that's not why I made it, and it's not why I carry on making it. It's not to be famous. It's nice having subscribers and people giving feedback and watching, and the fact that people find the videos useful and helpful. But it's not why I started making them. Now this may sound weird, but I am trying to separate Blind Man and Andy. So Blind Man is the channel, Andy is me, and I started doing this quite early on. So originally this channel was linked to my own personal Google account. Now it has its own Google account with its own email, and it's about to have its own Twitter account because I posted something on Twitter talking to Luton, I think it was, or it might have been Battlefield Informer, about one of my videos and some of the content in it. And there was a message appeared on the YouTube video saying, "I know what your name is." And I hadn't thought about that. And to be honest, it's not really something that I want. I know a lot of people are on YouTube because they want to be famous. I don't. I'm old enough to be past all that kind of stuff. So the channel is going to be Blind Man, and that is the persona I'm going to have on here. But Andy is me in the real world and is a completely separate thing. So the channel and the real world I'm going to try and keep apart. Sorry about that, but it's the way I'm planning on it working. I'm having fun as it is, and I don't really want the hassle of being a personality. Hope that makes sense. Right, on with the questions. Daz asked, "How is the mouse treating you?" Well, I bought a rocket cone to replace my Razer Death Adder, and the best thing I can say about the rocket cone is that I haven't really noticed a change. It performs exactly the same as the Death Adder does, but it's got more functions. And the thing that I worried about was that I'd used the Death Adder for so long that I wouldn't be able to use the rocket cone, it wouldn't be comfortable, I'd need a long time to try and get used to it. And no, it was just straight away, bang, set it to the same DPI settings I had on the Death Adder, and the thing just works. I have been playing around with the button programming and this shift function, and that all seems to work really well. So the next couple of questions are about my favourite guns. John Van Salisbury asked, "What's your favourite PDW?" And that simply asked, "What's your favourite shotgun, PDW, assault rifle, carbine, sniper, etc." So these are going to be my favourites, not necessarily the best. And my favourite guns swap around depending on what mood I'm in, what map I'm playing, and what kind of role I want to do. So what I've picked are the guns that I tend to use the most, and I've got the most kills with. So my favourite assault rifle is the M416. It does just about everything. It might not be as good as the Ace 23, but I've used it in Battlefield 3, and I carried on using it in Battlefield 4. And that was long before I knew what the stats were on it. My favourite PDW is the CZ3A1 because it pretty much just mows down anything that's in front of it. My favourite LMG is not the AWS, it's the M249 because it was easy to unlock from the single player and I used it all the way up until the AWS came out, and I've just switched back to it. My favourite sniper rifle is the SRR-61, and that's simply because it's the best sniper rifle in the game, but it's also the easiest sniper rifle for a bad sniper to use. So as I'm a terrible sniper, I use what is the easiest gun, and that's the SRR-61. Carbines. Now this is the one that's changed around quite a bit between the Ace 53 and the, mine's gone blank, AK-5C. So the AK-5C is better close up, but the Ace is better at medium range. So the problem I have now with the Ace is that for those situations I will go to my favourite DMR, and that is the SKS, simply because it will do a lot of damage at range, but it's also pretty fast firing and not bad close up. And what's that left us with? Shotguns? Probably the QBZ. It was the first shotgun I unlocked, and to be honest, I never noticed a difference between the shotguns, especially all the pumps. So QBZ, that'll do me. Oh, and I almost forgot gadgets and pistols and rocket launchers. So favourite pistol at the moment is the 93R, just because I've been having fun with it, playing pistol only to unlock the Phantom assignment. And favourite rocket launcher is obviously the SRAW, because it does everything and I'm pretty good with it. In fact, on the stats page, the SRAW still comes in at number 5 of my best weapons. What else have we got? Gadget wise, I'm not really a huge gadget fan. So other than things like med packs and repair torches and stuff like that, I don't tend to rely on gadgets that much. I'd much rather get out there and shoot things or fire a rocket at it. So that's it. Those are my favourite weapons in Battlefield 4. Nathan Fallon asked, what in your opinion is the most overpowered gun in Battlefield 4? I think currently they're all pretty well balanced. There are arguments to say that the AWS may be a bit overpowered, but it's not massively overpowered. And that's probably why I've gone back to the M249, because the AWS is good and it's fun at burst firing, but it's not as good as the M249 close up. Now there has been a gun that was overpowered and a lot of people missed it. They were so obsessed with the Ace 23 they missed the L85. Now stat wise the L85 was worse than the Ace 23. But what people didn't realise was that the L85's rate of fire was wrong. L85 at one point was firing 850 rounds per minute, and it just made it a complete beast. So I would have to say the most overpowered gun in Battlefield 4 was the L85. It's currently maybe the AWS. There's an argument to say the most overpowered weapon in Battlefield 4 is the SRAW, because it will hit everything. I can use it for killing infantry, tanks, vehicles, jeeps, helicopters, even the gunship. So yeah, the SRAW is the most overpowered weapon. AWS is probably the most overpowered gun. So that's it. That's the end of the Q&A. And now I know why people put stock gameplay footage in the back of these things, because it took bloody forever to edit these together, to try and get images to sync up with the narration and try and get the images at least kind of relevant to what I was talking about. Anyway, thank you for subscribing, thank you for watching, and now I can get back to playing Wolfenstein.